Hello, everyone out there. My name is Richard from Business English with Richard Halligan. I'd like to wish everyone a good day. Hope everyone is doing fine today. Right. Today, I'm going to explain how to use. Sorry, I have the speech impediment, so excuse me. I'm going to use idioms, which you would most likely use in business or in your everyday life. Particularly to help English learners to help them feel more natural and also make them feel comfortable because in English we don't talk like a textbook. We don't always say the things that you learn in your books or what you learn inside a classroom. We always use a lot of expressions. We use phrasal verbs. We use idioms to communicate with everyone. And so this is a way to help you get an idea of some of the things that English people like to say. Okay, right. First on the list, on my short list I have here, you may have heard the expression "back to square one." Back to square one. Now, what this means, back to square one, it means that if you have done a project or or maybe a task and you realize that it did not go according to how you wanted it to go. So you realize, oh no, I made a mistake. Let's start again. Let's go back to square one. Let's go back to the beginning. Now, normally, for an English student, an English language student in your classroom, you might have been taught to say something like, "The project didn't go well. We need to start again," which is no problem. But most of the time, English people do not talk like this. We would say something more like, the the project didn't go well. We need to go back to square one. Didn't. Okay, sorry about that. Right. Our next one is by the book. By the book. Now, what it means by the book, it means to do things how you're supposed to do it. Like you're supposed to follow the rules, the regulations, the instructions. That's what it means to go by the book. Now, in your classroom, you might have seen something like, we have to make sure we do things correctly. We have to make sure we do things correctly. Now, myself, what I would say, or what a native person would say is, well, if we're going to do this, or if we're going to do this project, we have to do it by the book. We have to do it by the book. This one is very common. Our next one is get down to business. This one is very popular in a lot of English-speaking countries. What it means to get down to business, it means that you want to either start getting to work, or you want to start a meeting. You want to get things going, get things moving, as we like to say. Now, you might have been taught, let's get this meeting started, or let's get this meeting underway. Now for someone like me, I would say something like, okay, everyone's here. Let's get down to business. Let's get things started, shall we? All right. Our next one is get something off the ground. Get something off the ground. Now, what we mean by get something off the ground, it just means to get something started, i.e., a job, a project, a business. So you have the idea, or you got everything you need to get started, but all you have to do is actually get this task started. So, for an example, you can say, I would like to start a business. That's what most people would say. But someone like me, I would say, you know, I've got an idea. I have an idea. I would like to get off. I have an idea. I would like to get off the ground. I have an idea. I would like to get off the ground. It's very common, this one. Next is to go the extra mile. Go the extra mile. Now, what this one means is to try to do more, i.e., to push yourself. Either this is something how you feel that you can do better, or someone has told you that you can do better. Now, for a beginner, you might have heard something like, "You are a good employee," or "You are a good student, but I feel or I think you can do better." I think you're a good student, but I think you could do better. Now, of course, normally we would say something like, "You're good, you are good, but you need to go that extra mile to be the best." I mean, for you to be the best, you have to go that extra mile. Okay. Next, we have in the driver's seat. In the driver's seat. Okay, sorry. Right. Now, what this means is that when you are in the driver's seat, now it doesn't mean that you're in the car going. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that you've been put in charge of a group or maybe a project for your job or for your company, for your company or for your section, whatever it is you do. Now, you may hear a sentence like, "Tony, I'm putting you in charge of this project." So that would be a beginner level comment. But for a more advanced comment, you would say something like, "Tony, I'm putting you into the driving seat for this project." "Tony, I'm putting you in the driver's seat for this project." And you can say, "Yay," or "Ooh." Next one is hands are tied. Hands are tied. Now, of course, this one means two things. One, it means like your hands are like this. They're tied together with like rope or handcuffs or whatever someone has used. And another one, which is what we're going to be using today, is when my hands are tied, it means I'm busy. I am busy. So my hands are tied. Now, for a sentence, you can say, "I would like to help, but I can't at the moment." I would like to help, but I can't at the moment. Or I cannot help you at the moment. For a more advanced student, we would say, "I would like to help, but my hands are tied." I would like to help, but my hands are tied. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Which is normal. We hear this one a lot. This next one is it's very common in the UK and of course in a lot of English speaking countries. Keep an eye on the ball. Keep an eye on the ball. Now, what this one means is that you have to stay focused and you have to give your full attention to something that is going on. Now, for one example for in a sentence, you can say, "Give a lot of attention to the stock market because it's going to change today." So give a lot of attention to the stock market because it's going to change today. But for a more advanced student or a native, we would say, "The stock market will change today. So keep your eye on the ball." Keep your eye on the ball. Next we have is learn the ropes or learning the ropes. This one means that if you are starting a new job or you're going to a new place, obviously you're not going to know or you might not know what's going on, or you might not know what you have to do. So normally you would have another member of staff or maybe a student, depending where you go. They will show you what you need to do or what needs to be done. So they're showing you how things are done. Now, in one sentence, you can say, "Sarah is going to show you around to teach you about your job and your responsibilities." Sarah's going to show you around to teach you about your responsibilities. For an advance, we would say, "Oh, the new girl is learning the ropes with Sarah." The new girl or the new guy or the new person, I'm trying to be PC here. The new person is learning the ropes from Sarah. So that means you're learning about your job. Next we have, now this one is very common, on the same page. On the same page. Now, what we mean by on the same page is that you could be having a discussion or a type of agreement with a person, and they agree with you. So if I'm thinking one thing, the other person is thinking the exact same thing or agree with me, they will say, ah, good. So we're on the same page, right? You agree with me and I agree with you. That's perfect. Of course, we do have other expressions for this as well, like we're on the same level, or we see things eye to eye. You got those two as well. Now, to use this in a sentence, we can say, we had the same idea. We think alike. Or, well, we agreed to the same thing. We think alike. Now, for the advanced, we would say, we had the same idea. We're on the same page. Or, you know what? You and me, we're on the same page. I agree with you, or you agree with me. There's many different ways to say you're on the same page. All right. This next one is almost the same as the same page, but this one is called the same boat. Now, what this one means is if you're in a situation that you might be having problems or some sort of issue, but somebody else is going through the exact same thing as you. So you can say, oh, I'm having problems. Really? Me too. You know, I'm in the same boat as you, or we are in the same boat. Right. Now for the sentence, you can say, I'm having problems, but also make sure that you are talking to someone when you say this. And then they will respond to say, yeah, me too. And then you discuss what your problem is. And then you can say, as an advanced student, yeah, I'm in the same boat, or we are in the same boat. Our next one is smooth sailing. Smooth sailing. Sorry, I like doing that one. Smooth. I like that. Now, what it means by smooth sailing, it means to do a task or a project, and there was no problems or no issues that happened with this project. So everything went fine. Everything went great. Now, to use this in a sentence, a beginner would have heard something like, the project went very well with no problems, or the project went well, we had no problems or no issues. But for an advanced student or for a native, we would say something like, project was easy. It was smooth sailing all the way. Of course, we do have other expressions to describe to say something was easy. We could say like, it was smooth sailing, a piece of cake, a walk in the park, it was a breeze. Each of those expressions mean to say that something was easy. There was no problem. Our next one is think outside the box. Think outside the box. Now, what this one means is somebody wants you to be creative, to think of something that no one else has thought of, to be original. So try not to think of something that is too bland or boring. Particularly if you are in a creative environment, like if you're an artist, a writer, a singer, you want to try and be different or to make you stand out. Now for a beginner, you might have heard something like, I want all of you to be creative. I want you to be creative. I want you to use your imagination. So that's what it means. So that's for a lower level student to use. But if for a native and for an advanced student, we would say something like, I want you all to be creative, be imaginative, think outside the box. I want you all to think outside the box, come up with something new, original for this project. Okay. Well, that was a small sample of different phrases that we use either in business or we use in our everyday life. If you'd like to know more, you can check out you can send me a private message. to ask any questions or if you have any doubts. But also feel free to visit my channel, Business English with Richard Halligan, where I've got many videos talking about different areas of business. So I would like to wish you farewell and take care, and I hope to see you in the future.